Hello, my name's Dr. Rosina McAlpine from Inspired Children, and I'd like to tell you about an exciting parenting conference that's coming up in August 2012 in San Diego. There'll be experts from all around the world to talk to you about parenting and child development. I'm going to be speaking at the conference, and I'm particularly excited because I'm going to be talking about self-esteem and resilience. When my son was born, I realized that he's going to need lots of key life skills, and as a parent I really wanted to help him do that. But I'm busy. I'm a working mum, and I wanted to research and find out what was the best way I could do that in an efficient way. So I talked to child development experts, and I developed a program called Inspired Children, where parents can be empowered to help their children develop key life skills in only 15 minutes at a time. And that's what I'm going to be talking about at the conference. You don't need a lot of time to help your children lead a wonderful life and give them the foundation and platform with all of those skills they need, like communication, self-esteem, being able to create relationships. And so what I'd like to talk about today particularly is just to give you a couple of tips on self-esteem and resilience, and I'll be talking about those in more detail at the conference. Self-esteem. Now, self-esteem is about how a child feels about themselves. And one of the things that parents often do because they want to be their child's biggest cheerleader is every time a child does something, they go, "Great job, well done, that's fabulous." And of course, because we care about our children, we think we're doing the right thing. But what it actually does when you're constantly saying, "Good job, great job," is that it gets your child used to looking outside themselves for praise. And that's not what self-esteem is. Self-esteem is a judgment about oneself. So instead of every time your child does something, instead of going up and the first thing saying, "Great job, that looks fantastic," maybe start by asking questions like, "How do you feel about your work? Did you really enjoy doing that? I noticed that you used a lot of colours. Would you like to use other colours? Maybe you could do something else." So it's all about asking questions that make them go inside and esteem themselves. So that's one big tip about helping your child develop good self-esteem rather than looking outside themselves. Because if they start getting used to that from a very young age, that will continue on in life. First they'll look to you when they're children, then when they go to school they're going to look outside them for themselves to their peers and also their teachers to tell them whether or not their work is good or not, and then when they go to work it'll be their bosses. So it's really great to try and help your child start to understand what self-esteem is at a very young age. Resilience. Life has its ups and downs, as we know, and we want our children to be able to bounce back after difficulties. How can we support them to do that? As a parent, of course, my first instinct is to protect my child and to safeguard him from all of those nasty things that can happen in the world. But in actual fact, after I talked about that topic to child development experts, they told me that I really wasn't helping him at all. So in terms of resilience, we need to allow our children to fall down and not rush over and pick them up, but stand back, as long as they're not hurt, obviously. Stand back and say, "Oh dear, you've fallen over. Okay, pick yourself up, roll over, push yourself up and come over here." Because we're not always going to be there to pick them up. And if we always rush over as soon as they fall down, that's who they're going to be looking to help them. So we want them little by little to start developing resilience, to start being able to take care of themselves when things go down. Are you the sort of parent that lets their children win all of the games? Again, life's not like that. So if you can help your child understand that sometimes they'll win a game, sometimes they won't, sometimes they'll achieve their targets, sometimes they won't, that's going to help them little by little develop resilience. I teach at university, and some of the children that I see are young adults, obviously they're 18, but they fail something for the very first time in their life and they can't handle it. And that's because they haven't had the opportunity to be resilient. They haven't had those setbacks where they've had to overcome it, pick themselves up and go forward. So I hope those 2 tips on self-esteem and resilience have been supportive for you, and I really look forward to seeing you at the conference. I've got lots of great ideas, as do all of the other parenting experts and child development experts. So book it in, August 2012 in San Diego. Hope to see you at the conference. Bye-bye.